Okay, we're on Project C. This is Math 119. We've already gone through how to create a Jupyter notebook. We've done that in Project A and in Project B. I'm not going to do a Jupyter notebook this time. I'm going to go right to Launch Sage. Let me do that for you. And again, Sage is in my dock. I use it often enough where it's going to be there for the most part. Launch it. I'm going to load it as a command line terminal application, not as a Jupyter notebook. Launch it. And let me just close out the prior session I had open before. And what I want to do is just talk about the project. And I'm getting a little better at this. They want me to use Sage to graph this thing over here. So I'm going to, I'm getting a little better now. What I'm going to do is I'll do reset. I tend to do that a lot, by the way. Clean slate. I'm going to assign X as a variable. And part of me being able to do this is I've done the prior two projects and I've seen things like this before. I'm going to define a function f of x, and f of x is going to be assigned x squared star x plus 1 quantity cubed. All right, and then I'm going to divide through. Well, I'm going to divide by x minus 2 squared, and I'm going to divide by x minus 4 to the fourth power. All right. Whoops, made a mistake somewhere. And someone says, how did you know I made a mistake here? I got the 3 dots and then a colon there indicating I'm not a complete thing over here. So let's see what happened over here. So I got the x squared. I got the x plus 1 cubed. I'm dividing by x minus 1 squared. Ooh, I see it now. And I'm going to correct it. This happens to me often. I type incorrectly. But I'm glad to say it didn't blow up on me. All right, I got it. It's there. All right, let's look at the code, though, and let's see if they did that. Yeah, they reset. Yeah, they did it. All right. Now, by the way, I'm not going to do the plots for you, but I think you can type that stuff up yourself. What I want to do is talk about what's new here. Plotting's not new. We've done that before. They're given x min, x max, y min, y max. You might find these to be outrageously complicated regions, and then they graph it out. And certainly I want to look at the graph of it. So the one graph I want to look at is this graph over here. And yeah, I know I have a see-through terminal over here. And what I kind of know about this thing over here is I know there's a maximum here, right? And that maximum appears to occur between, roughly speaking, it's somewhere between -1 and 0. Certainly you can get a better bound for that. But what I want to do is I want to type in the command, and we'll talk about what the output's going to be. All right, I want to find local, find underscore local. I'm going to hit the tab key, and when I do that, a lot of stuff comes up. I'm going to use the cursor now, and what I want to do is find local maximum. All right, parentheses, f of x, and I'm going to say, could you stick between -1 and 0? All right, let's hit enter. And it found it. All right, now I want to tell you what it found. It found the first number it finds over here is the y coordinate, and the second number is the x coordinate where that occurred. Now, by the way, the y coordinate is 1.7, yada, yada, yada. That e means 10 to the -5, which is an incredibly small number, by the way. All right, now granted, let's take a look. I'm going to put this over here. That's the maximum value, the y value, or what's called the ordinate. The abscissa value turns out to be about -3.21. All right, that's a new command. We haven't seen that before. All right, let's do local minimum. Now, local minimum between 2 and 4, and I want to claim over here, I'm not seeing that in this picture over here. So I wanted to scroll over here, but I see it in this picture here. So between 2 and 4, I'm definitely seeing a local minimum. It's right over here. And what's the y value or the ordinate? 200 and something. What's the x value? 2 point something. Let's do this. Find. And we're looking for a local. And we're looking for a local minimum now, right? I'm using my cursor. And I'm gonna do the f of x again. And I'm learning, right? And I think it's between 2 and 4. Hit return, and it gives me a number of 210. Let's see how we did. Yep, 210. The picture represents that too, by the way, and occurred at roughly about 2.5. All right. You notice the level of accuracy they're giving over here. It's not bad. All right. So let's just recap what we're asking you to do over here. This is a really complicated rational function. This would drive people crazy in Math 119 if they do it by hand, but it can be done, by the way. All right. Now, here's the nice thing about computers, though. Computers, you really can play around with things, and that's one way to learn how to deal with Sage. You just play around with it. So I give you the code for one, resetting it, defining a variable, defining a function, plotting the function on different ranges and domains, showing what it looks like in both of those ranges and domains, and then looking for mins and maxes. All right. How do I look for min and maxes? I'd have to know where they are approximately to find them. All right. Now, when you take calculus a little bit further up the road for you, you'll be able to do this with another technique. But right now, this is a very powerful tool for finding mins and maxes, or local mins and maxes along a curve. All right. So that's not bad. We learned something new here. And I want to claim your goal here is to make sense out of what you've been given. All right. They're little tiny tidbits, but all these tidbits you add together is like an alphabet, 26 letters. You start to construct things from those letters. Right. So from these tidbits over here, you start to construct a base. And from that base, hopefully your mathematical abilities will start to extend into other areas. Areas that might be, that you find more interesting. All right. But the bottom line is looking for mins and maxes is something that we tend to do. All right. Thank you for paying attention.